Yeah. Salutations, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Perspectives Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Littyyy Bro Flacko. This is my host, friend, Holden Stephan Roy. Say hi, Holden.
Hi, Holden.
Right. And today we have uh, New York indie legend, indie hip hop legend, period. Um, EO Dub veteran, uh, TikTok sensation, Ryze Hendricks in the building.
What's up,
Woo!
y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? You know, me and Flacco, we go way back, baby. Ill Dub days, man.
Mm.
I miss those
Facts.
days. Good Lord.
Facts.
Miss it.
Facts, yo. Yo, no, great times, bro. Great time. Great time.
Great
We
times.
we always I was telling Holden before, like, while we were getting ready for the show, like I was like, yo, you don't understand. Like, I've seen literally been right there since all the way back from I Gets Moolah. So it's like
Yeah.
I've watched everything that you've done, and I've watched like how hard you grind. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Word.
just like, yo, it's beautiful watching the people that you know for a long time grow
Mm.
in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a beautiful journey that we all get to see from one another. But so let me get the show on the road, right? So usually I give our origin story, but I'm gonna keep it short, right? Like, me and Holden met, right? And I was just like, yo, we should do an interview. We did an interview, bro. That shit felt like therapy. Cause I was like, why is it I always go on all these hip hop interviews and it's always like, when did you fall in love with hip hop? And like,
Yeah.
and like, and like,
Yeah.
would you be on loving hip hop? Questions like that. And it's just like, it's refreshing sometimes to talk about our lives and what we come from before hip hop.
Word.
So Holden has like his set of questions that he loves to ask, like a therapist and shit, right? But like, I like to ask everybody to open up with, why don't you tell us your name, where you're from, or your alias, and where you're from, and tell us where your parents are from.
Okay, the government, Walter Hendricks III. That's my Walter. But I hate when people call me Walter. That's why I used to just call me Walt. But Walter Hendricks III, born and raised Buffalo, New York. My parents, my mom, she's from Buffalo also, and my dad, or I should say sperm donor. He wasn't really around like that, but he's also from Buffalo. Um, that was it, right?
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
it, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Very.
So
yeah.
Buffalo,
So
Buffalo
you're
born and raised. But my
Buffalo born and
grandparents,
raised. Uh-huh.
my grandparents, they were from South Carolina. So
Okay.
she raised my mom in the Southern way, like what I mean. It was just certain way she
Right.
raised her, and my mom's raised me the same way. So a lot of people, like, when I would go out of town places, I'd be in Kentucky, or even when I was in New York City, people thought I was from like the South. They're like, "Yo, you act so Southern," but it's just the way I was raised. My mom, like I said, my grandparents from the South, so
Mm.
that's how I was raised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Nah, makes perfect sense. Makes perfect
Yeah,
sense to me.
yeah.
Word. Hold it.
All right, so I like to kick it off with my little opening question, but it's a little bit of a story, so I'm gonna go through it, and when it lands, you can answer it however you want. And my one caveat to folk from the general New York City area is most of us are not from New York City. I'm from Montreal myself, so when y'all feel the nah I mean kicking in, there's a good chance that people do not know what you mean. So that's just a little thing to keep in the back of your mind. On that note,
All right.
all this starts out with my girlfriend. She washing the dishes one time, and she got her phone out, and she's playing that Black Eyed Peas song. I got a feeling, ooh. She's vibing, she's
My shit.
dancing, she's doing her thing, and I look at her, and I'm like, when in the fuck did this song become chores music? Because, like, if you really think about this track and you run it back like 10 years, it's like the middle of the night, everybody drunk, celebrating, having the time of their lives. It's a good time. It's a party celebration song. You run it 10 years in the future, the song doesn't change at all because it's a song. But we evolve so much as people that the context in a relationship with the song goes from fun party times to I'm doing some boring crap like working out and I wish I was doing fun party times. And it just kind of takes on this new role. And it got me thinking about the relationship of music with ourselves, with age, like how the little ones be running around clubbing right now. They don't even know that this is their future chores music. They don't know that when I heard Pop Smoke and shit, it kind of skipped the line and it became my dishes dishes, washing music. They don't know that. That's how it works too for old folk.
Because you were old when you were in Pop Smoke.
I was old, yes. I was in my 30s when I first heard Pop Smoke.
So lit though.
Super late.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm doing my little shuffle thing while I'm washing dishes. It's just how it goes. But so it made me just think about like the way people present themselves as artists in the interviews and the questions, and how everybody's story just seems to start at this like adolescent era. Like, I'm 12 years old and I discovered hip hop, or I started writing rhymes at this point. Like, nothing ever happened before it in their lives. And that's a weird thing to me, because there's a good chance that when you popped out in Buffalo in the hospital as a little baby, there's some song in the room absorbing the little energies. You might not remember it, but it probably happened. And I know that the music you hear when you're young matters. I remember being like 5 years old up in Montreal. My dad's up in the crib with the fucking gray boxes all over, the preamp, the amp, the tape deck, the radios with the wires going out with the little ghetto surround sound system. He'd be busting his little Led Zeppelin tapes and things like that in the daytime, but at the nighttime it's the live club music streaming from the clubs of Montreal. My mom, she's more into the discos and the musicals and the Disney movies and that kind of vibe, and it just kind of created this like mishmash of sounds that influenced me heavy to this very day.
Where did you?
So what I was hoping is that you could bring us back to the youngest Ryze Hendricks you could remember being, and let us know a little bit what it sounded like to be you before you had any control of the music in your life.
Okay. Here's a big one. My mother was a big partier. Like, my mom's like, she was like super fly back in the day. So before she would go out, I remember I probably had to be like 4 or 5 years old. And my mom used to always bang music before she go out to party, you know what I mean? So it's always this one song she used to always play by Keith Sweat. The song was titled I Want Her, I think. I want her. And the way the instruments used to play, that shit used to be so crazy. I was a little kid. I didn't know how to dance, but just those instruments used to drive me so crazy. I didn't know how to react as a little boy. So I still remember I used to just run around the house when she played that song. You know what I mean? And I remember I was so hyped. I was so hyped one time that I ran to our glass door and I just punched it. And I think I still have that mark on my knuckle to this day. Like, I was bleeding and everything. I love the song so much, but I was so young, I didn't know how to react. I just ran and just punched the glass, and I was bleeding and crazy. But yo, that's like the earliest song, the first song I think I ever liked in my life. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's the youngest I can remember.
Yo, that's crazy.
I still like to this day for that reason, yo.
You know what though? You know what's funny is like knowing you, right? And like knowing I Get Moolah and how hard you went with that, right? And how like your sound you've always rocked with up tempo shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, that's like, okay, so that makes sense. Your mom was into the party shit, so she'd probably be playing up tempo shit. So it's like, naturally for you, you'd be like, yo, I want to make, because you understand the party. I understand the party too. And I love party music growing up. You know what I'm saying? I love the dance shit. So it's just like, yo, there's some of us in the indie scene that we get it. You know what I mean? Because we fuck with the party. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, yo, the party music comes from everywhere. It's not just, magically appears on radio and shit. Like, it's you get the party rocking everywhere. So it kind of makes sense.
It's energy. It's the energy, yo.
Energy.
Yeah, bro.
So after you punched the glass to express your joy, were you like at that moment like, nah, this is it, I'm into this music, I'm gonna be some kind of a music person, or did that take a little bit longer to kickstart for you?
Nah, it took a little longer. I was like I said, I was like 5, and I just knew I enjoyed the music, but at that time I wasn't thinking like I wanted to be a rapper or nothing. I was still into fucking toys, He-Man and G.I. Joe and shit like that. I wasn't thinking about no music or being no rapper or nothing like that. That didn't come till shit. I would say I was like 9 years old. That's when I
that's still super young though. He's like so much longer, but 9.
Yeah. About 9, 10, I was introduced to the Wu-Tang. And then, when I got into their music, then it was like, yo, I want to be like Wu-Tang. So I just started rapping because it was like I wanted to be like the Wu-Tang, and it was, you know, it was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun to do, you know what I mean? Like just be in the basement. We had karaoke machines and shit, and we would just rap on the karaoke machines and make little tapes and stuff, and it was fun. It started off as just something fun to do. I still wasn't serious with it, but
I mean,
it
you were
took me
like
to like 9
9.
years old to start getting into music.
So like,
Word. And so
well, before you got into music, the pre-era, did you have any other passions? Like, were you into sports or drawing or anything like that?
Sports. Always into sports, yo. Football, basketball. I always played sports inside before I got into music.
Mm.
Right.
And yeah, that's like my origin. Actually, that's where the name Ryze came from. Ryze came from the high riser. Like in high school, I could still jump a little bit, but back in high school and early years in college, I had like a 41-inch vertical leap. So I'd be, dunking and catching alley-oops
you
and
had
shit.
that teenage spring in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely had the spring. So all my friends, they called me the high riser. So when I started getting into music serious, I'm like, yo, I need a name. And I thought about the high riser. So I was like, okay, Ryze. You know what I'm saying? So that's how, that's where the name Ryze came from. So yeah, that all came from sports.
That's super dope.
That's crazy.